What's happening? Devin and Adam here. Dynasty receiver ranking time. Top 30. It's the golden hour because this information is sacred. You better hold on to this and use it in your Dynasty trades that you are doing right now or possibly down the road. So we're going to be doing tiers like we did for running backs rankings. Check that out if you haven't yet. It's great content. Got the rookies involved. Don't forget we got the rookies involved in this one too. Again, it's probably going to change with the combine and draft coming on. But let's get started. We're going to switch off each pick. I believe this guy's got the number one pick.
Yeah, guys, like Devin said, sacred information. Take advantage of those league mates who do not follow Cover 3 Media. They're missing out. You're winning the championship in 2023. That's why we're starting off with the best receiver in all of Dynasty Fantasy Football. And that's Justin Jefferson. Hands down, no questions asked, no debate. I'd even say there's only one person in tier one, but I gotta be, I gotta cool a little bit and just be, hey, stuff happens. JJ might not always be the number one wide receiver every single year. So
yeah, I got JJ 1-2. Number one on my rankings too. Number two for me will be Jamar Chase, and that will be the end of this tier. I think they're in their class of their own. I agree JJ is number one. I don't think he's miles ahead of him. I think Chase has the ability to put up a number one receiver season, but time will tell if he does that. He's got a great damn quarterback in Joe Burrow. Talented guy. These two LSU guys are far above, I think, the top two guys, no debate, in my opinion.
Yep.
And that'll be then tier one.
Tier two, we got CeeDee Lamb at number three. Simple as that. He's a very young wide receiver, and he's been improving year after year after year.
Yeah, put together a spectacular season this year. I loved it. Number four for me in tier two as well is going to be A.J. Brown. He's always been the hype. He's put up, big plays, big yak ability, but he finally put it all together this year, having a huge season with Jalen Hurts, making the Super Bowl. I think it definitely helped having another great weapon next to him in Devontae Smith. Even Dallas Goedert, too, I think helps him as well. I just think A.J. Brown's talent is off the roof, and he finally put together a top five season. I believe it was top five. So, and he's a young guy still. He's 25. So I think A.J. Brown, even though he is in tier two, I think he could have a season. Him or Lamb could be the receiver one year. You never know if Jamar Chase or Jefferson get hurt or somebody else emerges. So I'm going to take A.J. Brown at 4.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to slip one more guy into tier two, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know this is very high.
Wow, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, after thinking about it, guys, sure there are other guys lower on this list who might be more talented all-around receivers, who might have more speed, might have a bigger body. But Amon-Ra, it could be system, but it could be a similar thing to, Cooper Kupp, where people think, hey, Cooper, what has he got that's really special? But he's still dominated that one year. He was looking to dominate last year. Amon-Ra, I gotta start to respect it. This guy gets a lot of targets. He commands a lot of targets. He's a great PPR wide receiver. So I gotta have him this high. He's still very young. He obviously is talented to a degree to pull in that many receptions a game. So
yeah, I'm a few slots lower, but I can't argue it. I think 3 through about like 8 or so for me. I think I understand it. I get it if you want to argue it for certain players. So starting tier 3 off now, I'm going to go with Jalen Waddle. I just think his speed, his ability to make big plays, I have to put him at 6. I just love the offense he's in now. I know Tua's not the best quarterback ever, and we got to make sure he's all right with the concussions, but I got to put Waddle at 6.
Yeah, I like that. We'll see what Waddle's career holds for him. I know this guy doesn't have the best quarterback situation right now.
It don't matter.
Exactly. And that especially doesn't matter because he only has played 1 year in the league so far. Garrett Wilson, guys, really started to show up last year in some games and have some incredible games. Next year 2, I'm hoping that he, continues his growth and has an even better season. I like his upside. They just need to find a quarterback that can really help him get to that next level.
Yeah, I agree. I had Garrett Wilson basically ranked next too. Love the guy. He's a good damn receiver. Next up, number 8, I'm going to go with T. Higgins. Now, I think his upside is always going to be a little bit capped because he's playing with Jamar Chase, but he's just a special player in my opinion. From what I've seen, he can make all the catches in the world. He's a big body guy. And then when Jamar Chase goes down, he just starts exploding. I'm like, this is why I still have him as a top 10 dynasty receiver in my opinion. There's a lot of rumors going around that he could get traded because I don't know if the Bengals are going to be able to afford all of it. But I think my prediction is Burrow's going to maybe take a little bit of a pay cut, surprisingly, to keep those two guys together, because that might be smart if you're trying to win in that loaded AFC. These other veterans I have ranked next, head and shoulders next to T, they might be better right now, but I just think T's age and playing in that Bengals offense, I just love the guy. Ryan, can you give him to me? Jeez.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to have to go with DK next. I know DK has kind of been slightly, underwhelming us. Like, we want him to be a top 10, top 5 receiver. I think he's got that potential. He's still young for a receiver. Geno's not the best quarterback. It'd be nice if they could somehow get their hands on a franchise guy. So that's the one thing that kind of holds me back with him. But I still think, I don't think Geno's the greatest quarterback. Geno had a great year last year. I think the receiving core could kind of helped him out with that.
Yeah.
Having such a physical receiver like DK makes a huge difference. I'd like to be invested in DK in a dynasty league because he is that kind of talent. So
yeah, he's a freak athlete. Had some big games. He really put it all together in that playoff game against the 49ers. I was like, gosh, I'm a fan. I have him in fantasy. I love seeing it.
Yeah.
I wish they maybe thought about taking a quarterback since they have a top pick, but it doesn't sound like they are, which I think that might be a mistake down the road, I really think. Do you imagine AR-15 with DK? Come on!
That'd be insane.
Anyways, so number 10, I think we're going to still keep tier 3 going, if you agree, Adam. This is where I got these pool of veterans. I have these 4 veterans on my rankings personally that I have as the next 4 guys. I think it's a horse apiece which one you want to put number 1. You could argue it all day long to me, and I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm going to go with my favorite receivers ever, even though he left us, Devontae Adams. Again, he proved he's so damn good. Another top season. The quarterback situation there is very concerning though right now. So I can understand if you have him a little bit lower, but I just don't understand, even with age, how you can't have him at least in your top 13. So I got Devontae at 10.
Yeah, I actually had Adams 13, as Devin mentioned. I personally had him in tier 4. Tier 4 for me starts at pick like wide receiver 12, just because, yes, I think the 4 veterans that are still highly relevant in this league, Kupp, Adams, Tyreek, and Diggs, even though that they can probably still put up top 10 seasons for the next handful of years,
right.
I still like the tier 3 guys who have a couple more years on those studs and might be able to have, more, just a longer lifespan. So that's why I'm probably going to go with a guy I like a lot to round out tier 3. Devonta Smith, guys, really showed up last year. I know he's paired with AJ Brown, that makes it difficult, but I think that Jalen Hurts has shown that he's in this offense can supply 2 wide receivers with considerable points. So, obviously, as long as AJ Brown and Devonta Smith are together, who knows how crazy of seasons they're going to have. They're probably going to be anywhere from like 5 to 20 in wide receiver rankings on a scoring basis for like year to year until they separate.
Right.
Maybe they are top 10 like some receivers have been in the past, but that's my one knock on Devonta Smith, is that you might have to watch out for that for like a couple of years. And I don't always like banking on what the future holds. I like to have more certainty.
Yeah, I agree. I had Devonta Smith like 2 spots lower, but he's a damn beast, and he really proved a lot of people that didn't value him that high this year wrong. So start tier 4 here, number 12. I'm gonna go with Tyreek Hill. I don't own him in any leagues I'm in actually, but he proved me wrong this season. How damn good he was still. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins receiving record right away. He's just a unique receiver. There's no one like him, and I know he's getting older, but till I see him slowing down, I still think he is a top 15 receiver in my opinion. So I'll take Reek at 12.
Yes. I'm sure you guys want to hear me say Cooper Kupp right here, but I had a guy ranked higher. I had JSN.
Whoa, I love it.
I think he very well could be another guy who comes out and has a fantastic freshman year in the rookie year in the NFL. And it's one of those things where it's like, do I want Cooper Kupp who could have a number 1 wide receiver season for another year? Maybe. or Diggs top 5. That's fantastic. But JSN, who could be having top 10 wide receiver seasons for 8 to 10 years,
Yeah.
he could be that kind of a player, even if he's a top 15 receiver for his whole career consistently. I would rather take that longevity over Cup for 3 years. That's just me in my mind. And, Cooper Kupp, yeah, he was looking to have a great second year this past season after his record-setting year the year before that. But I have to say, Cooper Kupp has been a very sporadic fantasy scorer across his career. I think Justin Jefferson in his 3 years being in the NFL has had more top 10 wide receiver seasons than Cooper Kupp has.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's no guarantees with Cooper Kupp, and he did get injured this past season. I know they shut him down to be safe, but you just never know with an older guy. So I got to go JSN here, guys.
I love it. I love JSN. Again, I only had him a few spots lower, but I get the argument. I love the guy. He's really talented. I think he's the next guy. I think he's got a lot of similarities to Monron. Not the fastest guy, but if they're in the slot and they're getting the fucking work, sorry, pardon my French, but I like him. So, again, I'm going to go with another veteran. I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs here at 14. I know he's getting older. And had a little bit of a down season, but he's still had some of those big ass games. He's still one of the best offenses with Josh Allen. And I know there still really isn't another guy in that offense. I know Gabe Davis had his moments, but in my opinion, there's still not a guy that's taking away too much from that. I don't see him having another top 10 season for the next 2 years. I know he can hide some games here and there, but I think that's sometimes not his fault. I think Big Josh Allen, has got a little more questions than some people need to admit and look in the mirror about. I think don't get me wrong, Allen, I would still take him 2 or 3 as a quarterback, but I got to take Diggs at 14. I just think if he's available right now and I'm up with everybody else, I would take him.
Yeah, that's an interesting point about Josh Allen. I agree. Heading into the 2022 NFL season, a lot of Dynasty stars are having Josh Allen above Patrick Mahomes. Now, that was after Mahomes had a kind of a poor 2021 season, and Allen had a really good 2021 season for his career.
In fantasy,
Yeah, in fantasy. But then we saw last season, 2022, that Josh Allen kind of was having some issues, fumbling the ball, throwing interceptions, not making the greatest passes. So Josh Allen is human. He isn't, he doesn't have that 100% consistency. And sometimes, people overvalue someone being paired with a young franchise quarterback. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Every time somebody goes to the Chiefs offense, they think that he's going to be the next number 1 receiver. And it's like we saw last year that, yes, Kelsey had an insane year, but outside of that, Mahomes is kind of spreading the ball between everyone.
And it worked.
So, yes, so I'll take another veteran here, guys, with the number 15 wide receiver spot. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp. I think you gotta have him here in your rankings because he still has that upside for at least another season or 2. And why not at this rate? I think at this rate, there are some guys, yes, that have upside for a longer career, but to have this upside for 2 seasons and win a championship, come on.
Yeah, I think he's still good as hell. I know he's old, and Adam's saying his questions. I agree. It just depends how your team's built. I think personally, if you're good with Adam, I think Kupp's going to end tier 4 for me. I think there could be an argument, but I just think I like keeping those veterans kind of together with a guy that could easily hop them in JSN.
Right.
So to start tier 5 with 16, I'm going to go with Mr. Deebo Samuel. I know he kind of had a rough year staying healthy, and they started using more as a back again, which gives me a little concerns for his longevity of his career. But he's still, in 2021, he was top 5 Dynasty or top 5 receiver that year for PPR. Yeah. He has the ability to be an explosive player. I know Ayuk emerged. I know they got George Kittle. I know they got CMC now. But I still think Deebo's a damn beast, and I just think his talent is so good. And I think he's going to be an underrated guy again this year, and I think you can get him at a really good price in Dynasty right now. In one of my leagues, I did end up selling him for first, second, and third, but I think you get him for a lot cheaper than that right now because the quarterback questions too there.
Exactly, guys. Deebo's a tough one. San Francisco just has so many weapons now, and it's great because their quarterbacks are either Trey Lance, young, needs to develop. It'd be nice to have those threats, Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, average. But I do think if I were a GM for San Fran, I'd keep Kittle. Kittle is too unique, but I would look into getting rid of Ayuk or Debo, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have CMC and Kittle, you don't need all four of them, personally.
Yeah, maybe looking to actually locking down a quarterback.
Yes, exactly. All right, guys, 17 here. I'm going to go Quentin Johnson. I love his prospect profile. Landing spot's going to make a difference here, guys. But I like Quentin Johnson over the rest of these rookie receivers taken last year, personally. I think that he could have a better career. I think it was Wilson, Olave, London, Traylon Burks, pretty good prospects. But I do think this class, the top 2, 3, 4 guys might be better than anyone outside of Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
So I do like Quinn Johnson's upside here, guys. But I know 2 guys on my list who are next, like Olave and Watson, in my mind. They've already come into camp and they've already shown it. You know what I mean? So that's where I could see you ranking Olave and Watson a little bit higher because they're only a year or 2 older and they have had that. They've shown what they got, kind of thing.
Quentin is a damn beast, and I'm excited where he goes. I think some people still have that gross taste in their mouth of him going to TCU and some guys not working out in the NFL.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a much different prospect than Josh Doxson and Jalen Reagor, but just keep that in mind, guys. But I have Quentin a little bit lower because I actually do have a lot of those rookies from last year ahead of him, I personally. But I think they're all very similar, and it depends where Quentin goes. If Quentin goes in a really good spot, yeah, he'll be going right here in my rankings.
Yeah.
But again, still in tier 5, 18th. I'm gonna go with the hometown kid as a Packers fan. I gotta go with my boy Christian Watson. His run at the end of the year made me and Adam jump for joy every damn week. Everything we're analyzing all offseason on the tape, his skills just all came to fruition, and I think his upside is so damn high. Again, I know he's a little bit older already, but regardless if Mr. Rogers is coming back or he's got J-Lo, we saw that J-Lo touchdown to him. I believe it was a touchdown. It was pretty damn nice. I think Watson ability and ceiling is just higher. And I know some people are like, how the hell do you guys not have Olave ranked in the top 10? I think I'm just going to let Adam get into Olave. I don't know if I want to get upset. But I'm going to take Watson here at 18.
Yeah, guys, not often you see a speedster just, actually produce. There's a lot of guys who have good 40 times and they get overdrafted. I didn't think that way of Watson. He has what it takes to be a receiver in this league. It's not just the speed, although the speed is very nice.
It's very nice.
Yep. So I got Olave here, guys. 19. I mean, he showed enough for me where I felt, hey, he's got to be in the top 20 for Dynasty rankings, but and I know what I said in the running back video. I know what I've said before. I don't like taking guys who have maybe a higher floor but a lower ceiling.
That's what I think he is.
But that's what I think he is. I know I might be a little bit contradicting myself here, guys, but to be ranked number 19 and to maybe be a career wide receiver 2, I think that's his ceiling. I mean, I think this is a respectable place because he's got at least, being a receiver at least 5 years, being a wide receiver 2, and that's totally fine. Just not. There's some guys lower who I think can jump into that wide receiver 1 territory, but much less chance of doing it, and they got a much lower floor considering of their position.
I agree 100%.
And the unknowns.
I agree 100%. He was my next guy in my rankings. I know a lot of people are going to have him higher. Everywhere I've seen he's been higher, but just based off how me and Adam feel, I agree. I don't see him putting together like a 1,400-yard season. I think there's a better chance these guys that we listed already could do that, and that's why he's ranked 19.
Exactly.
I'm going to stay in tier 5, at least for one more guy personally. I'm going to go with Traylon Burks. He had some flashes, guys. Me and Adam really liked him coming out of Arkansas. I think a lot of people didn't like him. I'm like, whatever, we'll take him.
Please.
He's in a pretty bad situation, Tennessee. Don't know what's going on with Tannehill and Malik. But Burks showed flashes that makes me excited about his upside, and he had some big plays against our Packers, and I was like, damn, I kind of forgot about that guy. So don't forget about Burks. I think he's another guy, like I mentioned earlier with Debo, that you could get at a huge discount this offseason.
Yeah, seriously, guys. Burks is probably very undervalued right now. It's obviously a risk, but the risk reward with him right now, I think, is great. I think his ADP, genuinely in redraft leagues, is going to be undervalued. I mean, we're going to be looking out for guys. We're going to be sharing you guys information. Guys like Amon-Ra last year. Now, not all of us here at Cover 3 Media were that high on him. I was a little bit worried. I think Christian was a little bit more high on him. I think you might have liked him a little bit more.
I liked him, yeah.
And that's what you got to do. There might be players, obviously, if someone is accurately valued and you're taking them at that spot, fine. But if you're looking at other guys and you're like, these guys are overvalued, like, you don't want to take the guys who are overvalued. You want to take the guys who are undervalued at their spot. That's where Traylon Burks could be this next season.
Right.
So we just drew off tier 5 there. I'm going to go with tier 6, guys. A rookie that I have a lot of faith in, Josh Downs. I got to put him up here. I know a lot of you guys won't be liking that.
The slot assassin.
He does not get enough hype. And I think he's got more upside than Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison's going to get better draft capital most likely, but weird things happen. Sometimes people are like, hey, really love this guy. We'll see. I think Josh Downs, in my mind, has a higher ceiling. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree with Downs. I think I do have this next guy ahead of him in my rookie rankings, but again, I like Downs a lot. I have him as my 4th ranked receiver right now. On my rankings right now on my list, guys, I do have these 2 other going to be second-year receivers ahead of him, but I think I'm going to change my opinion. I will take Jordan Addison here at 22. I think he's good. I think he's got the similar body type to Devontae Smith, but they have different play styles. It's just good to see, though, like someone that has a similar body type working in the NFL, very good, having a top 10 season in PPR, as Devontae Smith did. Addison's a good receiver. I'm not as high as Mr. Christian Davis is as him, but I think this is properly where he should be ranked. I think he's going to get good draft capital, and I think my only problem with him is I think he's going to need another elite receiver around him to be successful, and that's my only concern. But I think 22 is a good spot for him.
I think Addison's best case scenario, and this isn't bad, but this is the problem with Amon-Ra. Addison is, I think, similar to Amon-Ra, where Amon-Ra is probably going to be getting, I just don't know if I ever see, unless he's getting like 170 targets.
Mm-hmm.
Like Amon-Ra is just going to be that guy who's like floating around end of wide receiver 1 territory, high end wide receiver 2 territory his whole career, which is fine. That's nice consistency there. I think he's got that ability, but he's like, it's one of those things where I just don't think Amon-Ra has a play style to be a JJ, to be a Jamar Chase, to be a Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. And that's what I think about Jordan Addison. Like, Jordan Addison's ceiling, I think, is like an Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that's fine. But at this point, I have to rank a guy higher. I have to rank Downs higher because I think he has the potential to have that type of play style where he could be fighting for a top 5 spot. Yeah. Not saying it's going to happen, but I just think he has more of a potential. Next guy on this list, Drake London, 23. Yeah, he had an all right rookie year, guys. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't terrible. Mm-hmm. Bad quarterback play. We saw Kyle Pitts suffered in that offense as well. So I don't want to give up on Drake London too soon, but I wasn't super high on Drake London. I wasn't in love with him last season before the NFL draft. Thought he's a little bit slow for a tall guy, and that can make it difficult for a quarterback to get you the ball. So that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I had London as my next ranked guy. He showed flashes, but I think my next guy, 24, showed a lot of flashes, and I'm a big fan of him. I'm going to go with George Pickens. Now, I've seen the different opinions. He's been getting a lot of hate recently because, people say he can't get open besides these big play, contested catch plays, and he's only valued high because he's a flashy player, which I get, but he's only a rookie. He had a good rookie year, 800 yards. I will take that. Obviously, it's not insane, but it showed he's a good player, and I think he's only going to develop more, and I think Pickens, if you're getting a really good deal for him, I understand if you want to stay off him and take another shot in next year's class or this year's class, but I got to rank Pickens at 24. I think this is a pretty good spot to take him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Pickens, he is one of those players who has the overall tool set to be a top receiver. We've seen the catches he's made. We've seen the route running. We've seen how physical he is. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the more physical receivers in the league. Based on what he does. So, yeah. Okay, so that we got tier 6 rolling here. We got I think I'm going to throw one more guy in here. Michael Pittman. First game of the year, we're like, heck yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
You know, it just, I think quarterback play kind of played into it.
Yeah.
I think Pittman's still got what it takes. I mean, being ranked, 25 here, I think that's a fair value for him.
Mm-hmm.
We have him lower this year because we don't know what's going to happen with the quarterback situation. They get themselves Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. I'm feeling a little bit happier about Pittman's situation.
Yes.
And I think he could have a rebound year. So,
yeah. I had Pittman ranked 25th, so I agree. I've seen some very different opinions on him. I think people are kind of forgetting about him because he's a good receiver, guys. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So now to start tier 7 here, it's going to be these last 5 guys are all going to be in the same tier. Gosh, you're going to be probably thinking, where the hell is this guy? Why hasn't he been ranked yet? Similar to Olave. It's another guy from that class. It's Mr. Jamison Williams. I watched a recent short by Mr. Mason Dad at the Flack, and I completely agree why people are valuing Jamison so high. I've seen him rank like 12 or 13. I'm like, how? Understand he's a special speedster. He's got traits to be a great deep threat in the NFL, which is good. But I just think he's going to be a better NFL receiver than fantasy. I just don't like taking these guys that all they're relying on is their speed and big playability. That's why I'm not big on Jalen Hyatt. I think Jamison's way better than him, but I just worry about him. I just can't get behind him. You won't be seeing me having a lot of him in any of my leagues. I'm worried about him. I've seen too many NFL players fizzle out that are mainly dependent on their speed. So
too many. I'm going to go with a guy who doesn't necessarily have to rely on speed. He's a rookie in this next class, Keishawn Butte.
Booty.
He's got a nice build. Going to have to see what landing spot has to offer, but I think Butte could have a better career than some of the other wide receivers out here, so
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put him there at 27.
Mr. LSU, I love him. He's my next ranked rookie receiver. I'm excited where he ends up going. Now, I think the next guy, I got to do it. I think I will do it. I think I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy. Again, I have a lot of questions about him, but I think at this point, I think this is a good spot to take him, in my opinion. I know we're kind of concerned with Russell Wilson, what's going on there. But Sean Payton's coming in there, and I think that will be exciting. Maybe turn it around. I think Jerry Jeudy's a very, very talented guy, but everyone says he's so talented, which I see, but he hasn't been putting the numbers down to back it up, for my opinion. He started to show flashes again for me, and I'm like, okay, I understand why he's a highly coveted player, but I think he's a wide receiver 3 at best, in my opinion, and that's where we're at right now on the list because we mainly play in 10-man leagues. So I think Jeudy here, I would probably take him over a guy like DJ Moore or Terry just because I think it's a bold take, but he does have a better quarterback than those two guys have, even though Russ had a bad year.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Jahan Dotson here, guys. I think the door's open for him in Washington. Biggest concern here is going to be what the quarterback situation is. Now, is Wentz, Heineke, it's not great. It gets the job done. Dotson had some good games. Obviously, Terry, I think, is probably going to still be the number 1.
Right.
But Dotson's younger.
Terry's old.
Terry's old. I like Dotson as a number 2 to start his career. Curtis Samuel, not concerned at all.
What happened with that guy? I thought everyone liked him so much to start the year.
I guess so, yeah. I mean,
should have listened to us. Come on.
Yeah. So Dotson showed some flashes. Penn State boy.
Yeah, he was a guy that was really undervalued in rookie drafts, and he went 16th in the NFL draft, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, wow, I might need to go back and do some scouting. To round out 30, there's a lot of guys. Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, Terry, Ridley, Hollywood, Godwin. Those are kind of who I have next. They're all very similar to me, and I can argue any of them. But I think at the end of the day, I want to put Godwin, but I don't know who the hell's throwing him the ball next year, so I can't. I'm going to take the chance on the guy that everybody does every year, and they get a little disappointed, but we're ready to get disappointed again. I'm going with DJ Moore to round out this top 30. Talented as hell, showing insane flashes, big playability, great in the open field. Can Carolina just get him a quarterback this year, guys? Please take a chance on one of these rookies, and hopefully they can develop a solid connection. DJ Moore's a good damn player. He's just been getting that damn short straw every year. I had to put DJ Moore to round it out, guys.
Yeah, DJ Moore, great player. Hopefully for his career, he gets somebody. Yeah, that's our top 30 wide receivers for Dynasty PPR formats. Got 7 tiers for you guys there. Hope you appreciated this video. If not, let us know. But here at Cover 3 Media, usually our information is sacred, so keep it close to your heart, guys. Let us know if you disagree with some of our picks, if some guys should be higher or lower. I know we got some crazy fans out there who might think Olave is top 10. That's just not the case. Let's be realistic.
Come on.
But yeah, anyways, Cover 3 Media, guys, stick with it. Winning championships in 2023. I wish you guys were with us for the 2022 NFL season if you weren't. But 2023, no better time to do it. Win your championship. Stick with us. Subscribe so you don't miss a single video. We're introducing the IDP here soon after the draft combine for the rookies. Probably get some more, the veterans involved. Another way to expand your fantasy experience, IDP, get with it. Cover 3 Media, we got you covered. Again, this information is sacred. For the 50th time, keep it close to your heart.
It's sacred.
It's sacred.